Hi guys, so there's a video I want you to watch with me. Just give you a bit of context. This video happened during an assembly. There was a black deputy who had a speech, and during that speech of his peer from a far right, I guess, told him to go back to Africa. I just want you to
Les personnes secourues se trouvent dans une situation d'urgence absolue. Les prévisions météo indiquent une détérioration significative du climat. Pas du tout. Ces violences.
So, yeah, that's the scene. And after some research that I did, I found out that this guy, the black deputy, his name is Carlos Bilongo, okay? He was born in France. He was born in France. He's supposed to be French, right? He was elected by the people and he was a deputy, right? And one of his peers shouted, go back to Africa to him. So he clearly just say like, oh, you know, French as me. And there's many like black Europeans who encounter such situation. Okay, I'm not gonna speak for them because I don't know what they're going through, but for what I know, that there's been a lot of cases like that. What I really want to tackle in this video is this whole discussion about African migration to Europe. Okay, so Africa is 1.5 billion people as we speak right now in 2025, and there is less than 10% of African who migrate to Europe. And just to give you an idea of how big it is, 10% of 1.5 billion, that's 150 million people. And we all know that there is no 150 million people in Europe, Africans in Europe right now. I would say even less than 5% of African migrate to Europe. Most of them, they are on the continent. And African are not just the only one who migrate to Europe. There's Asian, there is like a Middle Eastern, there's even European themselves, but that doesn't seem to bother anyone. People are just really focused on Africans, and I often hear like Europeans say, oh no, you go back to Africa, you go back to Africa. And the politicians, they use that anger from the people to kind of manipulate them. But they don't really want to talk about the real issue, okay? Because those people, they know here because they like seeing you or they love your country that much. It's because what your government is doing in their country. What I want to say is like, you need to understand the real cause of migration, okay? What they don't tell the European is, okay, they're taking resources from them, okay? When I say they're taking resources from them, they're not buying it. When you go to those people country, those African that you say, oh, go back to Africa. Now, what's happening right now in Congo, they say, oh, Congo has been invaded by Rwanda. That's not really the case. We know that, okay, Rwanda is the one doing it, but who's behind it? There's the British government, there's the French government, there's the Belgium government, there's even the American behind them. You get what I mean? So they go there, they make wars, so they make the people fight, and then they steal their resources because they don't want to buy it. They get free resources, they bring it back to their country, they develop their own country, okay? So that's what's happening. And then when the people, they cannot live in that condition anymore, they're moving to the north to come to Europe, and the Europeans say, oh, no, you're coming here too much, we don't need you. The population who doesn't know, they're going to get angry. They're going to say, oh, you're coming here to take our job, you're coming here to take the few that we have, but your government, guys, they're supporting rebels, they're supporting groups, they're supporting dictator to make the life harder for those people. And, you know, it's in the human nature to just always go where the grass is green. So they migrate to Europe, but again, there's less than 5% of them who migrate in Europe. Most of them are on the continent, but you don't know about this, right? So what happened is the politician here in Europe, they play a double game with you. They say, oh, wow, when things go wrong in the country, they're like, oh, no, it's the migrant. They blame them. And you don't, we always have that. To be honest with you, even me, if I'm in my country and I'm start seeing a lot of foreigners and stuff, I wouldn't like it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't like it that much. So they use that natural tendency of humans to just say, oh, it's them. And then they start blaming them, right? And when I'm doing this video, I want the people to know that we're never gonna solve this migration issue is if you allow your government to steal from them, to destroy their country, to help dictators to be on top of their country. And like in France, for example, they control the monetary system, okay? And when they're being kicked out, they say they don't want to go out. They use force to stay. sometime. Okay, so that's the situation over there. But hey, you're not ready to talk about that, right? You're just like, oh, the people go back. And so yeah, if you like this video, share it. And I believe that the more we know, the stronger we are. Okay, so let's just deal with the real cause of migration, not just the consequences of it. Thank you very much.